city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap-ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own, tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu, and I'm that spitter, baby. They don't want you to see, but everybody's south of Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and ponder getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. Me? I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
That trade season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it
I hate
for
these
us.
average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average chicks. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my old flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on to the hearse. Party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I probably crack in my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete. I'm a verbal athlete, deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah. I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping. But I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building. My whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. I'm feeling real good on this beautiful Monday morning. Want to welcome you guys and thank you guys for watching with us and starting your week off with us right here on the Morning Update Show. Gotta bring in my co-host, my guy, Big O. What up, Big O? Happy Monday.
Good morning, Trey Holiday. Happy Monday to you. And I got to say, wow, look at this. What's going on?
Well, I got to just give a shout out to Miss Mona Terry for thinking about me while she was shopping with Miss Ann Gadsden, somebody who in our community is doing these amazing fashionable works. I have some other pieces from her, but want to send a shout out and send so much love to both of you. Mona, thank you for thinking of me, and Miss Ann Gadsden, as always, man, Gadsden gear for those who are looking for this kind of type of wear.
All right. Yeah, that's what's up. I need some kind of something.
Yeah, look, we gotta get you. Yeah, we gotta get you on.
Yeah, well, I'm rocking my Bellican beer shirt here today, all the way from Belize City, Belize. You know, this is the official beer down there.
Yeah,
and I had a few.
Yeah. They treated us very well at the brewery right there for Bellican.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Today, man, you know, real serious. The King County prosecutor just now released the 2021 Shots Fired report. And as expected, the news is bad. Lots of gun violence across King County. We're going to dive into those numbers. Also, we've got Baionne Coleman. Baionne Coleman is in the building today. And it's the Global Majority Coalition, right? Consortium. There it is, the Global Majority Consortium. So very interested to learn more about that. It's Monday, so we got a ton of headlines. So I'll just jump right into it. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. Right now is a perfect opportunity for you to tag and share the stream. Go ahead and tag and share the stream with people you feel would appreciate culturally relevant news and information emanating from right here in the Emerald City. Want to give a big shout out to our partners over at the South Seattle Emerald, also KBCS 97.3. Yeah. Over at Bellevue College. Something threw me off right there.
91.3?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm like, man, let me get it right. Oh man. Want to remind everybody that you can listen to the morning. I'm so happy today. This is a rare occasion. I got so much energy and overwhelm. It's just bubbling out. So you guys better savor the flavor. You know what I'm saying? All right. We want to remind you can watch the Morning Update Show anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. We got SoundCloud maybe popping up over there, but you can also go to Google, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. You can find it right there. Right here's the time in the show where we share this link from our friends over at Public Health, Seattle, King County. If you want to get vaccinated, if you need a booster shot, if you want to get tested, or if you're vaccine hesitant, there's a big community of people who are. That link right there is pretty good, kind of for all of those things. If you can get a booster, you can get tested, vaccinated, and answer some questions.
Yeah, and they have all of the vaccines available, right? So if you want Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, they have all of that there for you. A lot of these sites now are carrying all three of those options. But again, we always love to save some space and grace for those who are still hesitant. We understand vaccine hesitancy here. It is, something that is kind of growing as these variants are hitting us. People are trying to make sure that they stay informed, stay engaged. I know other folks that are like, man, I need to keep up with the boosters. I want to keep up with them. So this is a really great site for you guys to be able to get all the information you need regarding COVID and the vaccines.
Yeah. Also reminding everybody it's covidtest.gov. So if these ones are free, they come to your house.
Yeah, you get up to 4 per household. And they did have them. I don't know if they're still available, but I know when they first came out, you could also just go to the post office and pick them up or check your local libraries.
Yeah, these test kits is jugging right now. We should have went into the test kit business, man. You know what I'm saying? Serving them.
Well, I gotta say, we always like to say this too. If somebody's trying to charge you, tell them to cash out them for the home test. Let them know, man, they are free. You do not have to pay for those at-home tests either.
Yeah, man, real deal. All right, serious business here. King County Prosecutor Satterberg, as well as King County Council member Gurmai Zahalai, right now as we speak, they're having a press conference and they're talking about the 2021 shots fired numbers. And as expected, Trey, man, it don't look good. We got a few breakdowns here, slides that we put together based upon the numbers that they put out. The first one here is total shootings, so that's up right there. And the big takeaway from this is that the number of shots fired incidents here, 1,405, increased in 2021 by 26% compared to the 4-year average of 2017 to 2020. So, Trey, 1,405 incidents of shots fired.
This is really, again, we kept hearing about the increase in shootings, but when you see the numbers come out, it is a real indicator of need in our communities, man. Like at the end of the day, just reading some of these numbers, I'm still a shock. I'm still in shock about it. Oh, we knew that it was going to be high numbers, but still 1,405, the 26% increase. Here we go, man. It's hitting our families, hitting our communities really hard. And again, this is something that a lot of people in community are dealing with. Oh,
yeah, no, this is, you could literally feel it and hear it right here where we're at on First Avenue. We were saying, it's still happening. It's somebody shot over here, shot over there. It was a lot, and this is what the number says when we get to it. Non-fatal when it was a lot of shootings. somebody shot in the leg, somebody shot in the arm, a few fatal shootings just one block away over by the 7-Eleven over in the Occidental Park as well. And so, yeah, it's been an issue. The second slide here, sorry, everybody, we put all this paperwork together. This is a geographic distribution. So as we see here, you see a lot of red. The red is the SPDs. That's the Seattle Police Department responding. But, Trey Holiday, what we see here as well is Federal Way. Federal Way's on there. I just want to put this number out here. It says overall shooting victims. Actually, we'll say that for the next slide. This is Federal Way. Like I said, you see it a lot right there, South King County. So between Seattle and the red, and then South King County. And this is something that we knew, but you can see it on the screen.
We keep talking about this, and I think that this is exactly why so many people need to care. Again, when we see it on the map, we see that it is spread all throughout. It is hitting so many different areas up and along the I-5 corridor. And it's important that, families who may feel like, oh, I don't know if that's going to hit my neighborhood. You do not know, and you cannot say that when you see these things on the map. Oh, at the end of the day, we're seeing it hit South King County heavy and hard. We're seeing a lot of these kind of conflicts roll over into other cities. If they start in one place, they can roll over to another. That's something that we're actually seeing here, and the map actually shows that and proves it to us. Oh, it's happening everywhere.
Yeah, well, definitely. There isn't really an area around King County that isn't experiencing some kind of gun violence, and clearly, a lot of things are what you would expect. The city of Seattle has the biggest population, so you would expect a concentration of gun violence there. We've been talking about a focus on South King County, and of course we see it there. But, the county as a whole is impacted, and the randomness of it as well these days. Gun violence is occurring for lots of different reasons in lots of different places. Let's go here to historical comparison. All right. Historical comparison here, we see here that the number of fatal shooting victims increased by 21% compared to a 4-year average. You see an increase here all the way across as to what's happening here in King County with these shots. It's an upward trend.
It is an upward trend. Oh, and this is the thing that I think we saw or we knew and we were experiencing, particularly in media, where we hear about these shootings and then it's like, oh man, we got to go report. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes having to go down to the scene, Omari being down there and talking with SPD, being able to catch up with Chief Diaz. This is something that we see it, we experience it because of the activity that we have to do in terms of media and being there on the scene as well. So it's not just something that we get to then report on, but it's something that's also a part of how we stay connected to community. I mean, you're out there trying to get information as these things are developing.
Yeah, for sure. And the last one here, victim demographics. And I'll be honest with you, Trey. As the prosecutor has said, gun violence continues to disproportionately impact people of color and particularly young Black men. Of the 460 shooting victims in 2021, 81% of the shooting victims, that's 379 people, were people of color. Nearly half, 48% or 225 people of all shooting victims were Black or African American. 85% of the shooting victims, that's 390 people, were men, and 28% of the shooting victims, 133 people, were between the ages of 18 to 24.
Oh man, this is the part that I think really struck me the most. When we have folks like Sean Good on here, when I'm talking to my brothers over there at Community Passageways, so many people that are at the forefront of a lot of this and really are seeing it in different ways. They are always talking about these numbers before we even had the numbers. They understand that there is a kind of litany of how these gun violence crimes actually affect a really specific population. population. And here we are with the data that also showcases this. I think that this is exactly why people are talking about how do we provide resources for that group of people. You know, there is something specific about how people are connected to a lot of these gun shootings and gun violence. They're connected in certain different kind of intricate ways. And the fact that we do have people that are on the ground that understand that are connected to their communities, they really are working with folks that understand it, and they've been there themselves. And so these ideas of us now understanding these numbers, oh, I mean, you're talking about 54% increase in non-fatal shootings, 64% increase in fatal shooting victims. These are high numbers, man.
Yeah, I mean, and this is real, and we need to really, as a community, like, take this serious. I think a lot of times, especially of clearly the majority of these shootings are happening in certain geographic areas, and we've just broken down how it impacts certain communities. Man, this is a serious issue here. This gunplay is real. You know, I remember the other day we were just at a restaurant, and you know what I'm saying, young man's over there. We weren't threatened with a gun, but you know what I'm saying, he was clear to let us know, like, here's number one and here's number two. You know, not, I would be clear, we weren't threatened with the firearm at all. But, you know, dude was just sitting there letting us know, like, yeah, what's up? I'm strapped up in here.
Well, you know, it's part of his lived experience. Again, you know, he's talking about himself being protected because he knows that this kind of violence is out there. And it goes to the point here when we're talking about, you know, 28% of these shooting victims being between the ages of 18 and 24. That young man was probably in that demographic, Omari, straight up. And already he was just letting us know that, hey, look, if anything pop off, I'm ready. And it wasn't like, again, he was trying to show up.
He was letting us know, like, we were safe.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, yeah, I got that thing. Matter of fact, 2 of them, just in case anybody's tripping, you guys enjoy yourself. And I was like,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is. So I sent King County Council member Gramai Zahalai a message. I know he's participating in the press conference going on here today. And of course, we have our morning show. So I reached out to the council member to see if we might have some time this week to further have this discussion and see if we can go deeper into it and what solutions you're talking about there from the government side.
Yeah, this is going to be important to hear from, you know, King County Council member Gramai Zahalai. He has really been vocal throughout this entire time. You know, I'm always go back to, you know, his article talking about this gun violence issue as a public health crisis. And I think he's really right. These numbers really showcase how important not just people in community, but everybody needs to be taking this. Omari, you've been very vocal about, man, where's our council people, our city council? They need to be on this. And honestly, it needs to be everybody, regardless if it affects their district or not.
And also, where's the rest of the King County Council?
Yeah.
You know, we're always talking about the city council being quiet. Where's the rest of the King County Council? Unfortunately, clearly, this issue of gun violence is one that's just not going away. And we're going to stay on top of this and also see if we can get the council member here to discuss this even further. Next up, man, in national news, this is crazy. HBCU bomb threats. I'm going to put this up there. There it is. So at least 6 historically black colleges and universities received bomb threats this morning, disrupting campus operations and launching police investigations. Southern University, Howard University, Bethune-Cookman, Albany State, Bowie State, and Dell State all received bomb threats this morning, according to campus spokespersons or social media posts.
Oh, come on, man. Here we go, where we're dealing with the fact that so many people are, you know, having to deal with something like this. 6 campuses all on one day. This looks like a real concentrated effort to me,
Yeah, I mean, there was another organized bomb threats against HBCUs earlier this month as well. And so, you know, this is The drama continues.
Well, you wonder, we talk about racism and racist acts all the time. Clearly, there is a targeted effort toward HBCU. So my mind goes straight to racism, but also the concentrated effort that it takes. And I wonder how, investigators are really dealing with identifying those who are leaving these threats, because it is a disruption to campus operations and to the campus wide activities. But what are they really looking for? Are they just looking to be a nuisance? Are they serious about this? This is something that, I think obviously should always be taken seriously when you're talking about, people possibly losing their lives, at a college wide campus. So I'm just wondering if they're able to really do that investigation to find the people, the culprits of this.
We shall see. Speaking of college education, got something right here from the Capitol Hill Seattle blog. Seattle Central College. Yeah, you want to put it up? Oh, okay. We can't see it. It's frozen over here. Sorry about that, Mr. Director. All right, Seattle Central College not closing its doors. Seattle Central will not be shutting down its campus, closing its doors, and ending its run of 56 years of providing education on Capitol Hill. Total enrollment of full-time students in Seattle College's three-campus system fell to just over 15,000 in 2019-2020 school year, continuing a longer-term pattern that has seen full-time enrollment drop 15% in 5 years. Well, Trey, the good news is, though, it's not closing its doors.
Yeah, it's not closing its doors. And I think more people need to understand that the campus has expanded their graduation opportunities, right? Because you can actually go through Seattle Central and get a BA at this point. And I think sometimes people forget that. So the fact that the numbers have been decreasing over these last few years, I wonder if people actually understand that. But again, this is, something that is great for us to be able to celebrate, because Seattle Central is a staple in our community.
Yeah. My mama went to Seattle Central. You know what I'm saying? And my mama was real with it. She walked. We lived 2 blocks from Communion when I was a kid. My mama used to walk from right there in the CD to Seattle Central every day for 2 years. He had no car. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no route to really go that route. And so Seattle Central, we give you all a bunch of support what we could do. Also, the best thing about Seattle Central as well, one of the best things, they got the HBCU transfer program.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? You can go to Seattle Central for 2 years, transfer down south to a HBCU and get like in-state tuition and all kinds of everything else, all your credits transfer, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say that's something that I think a lot of people really fail to realize. I mean, for those of you who went to college, you know how difficult it can be sometimes for those credits to transfer. So that's a huge partnership that Seattle Central has embarked upon with HBCUs. It didn't exist when I went there, because I went there too, came back from Howard, and I had to end up at Seattle Central and love the program that I was in. And honestly, I think that, for me and my experience, Seattle Central has always been innovative in their approach to bringing education to the community. And clearly they're continuing that trend. So, let's hope that their enrollment increases, but I'm glad they're not closing its doors.
All right. Next up, this is from the South, Seattle Emerald. It says the 5th annual Black Lives Matter at School Week set to start today. Let's see. The annual Black Lives Matter at School Week of Action, January 31st through February 4th. The event was attended. I'm all over the place today. Basically, it's Black Lives Matter at School Week, but I have a more important slide I can put up right here. This is the demands. All right. Here are the demands. End zero tolerance discipline and implement restorative justice. Hire more Black teachers. Mandate Black history and ethnic studies in K through 12 curriculum. And fund counselors, not cops. Trey Holiday.
You know what? These are amazing demands. And honestly, I love the fact that, with a machine really like BLM at this point, that they're really behind something like this. I think that those demands are echoed in community and have been. We heard a lot of those demands during the protest movement. And honestly, this is something that a lot of people stand behind in from a community perspective. And I mean, all around, when we talk about people who understand that schools have had contracts with Seattle police. There was a lot of information that came out during protests that people were not aware of. And so these guys are really being intentional to say we need to do it in a different way. And I think restorative justice, funding counselors, not cops, all of those things are really important. And I love the addition of, let's make sure that ethnic studies and Black studies are a part of our curriculum. It is important. It's key.
So are you participating?
Well, yeah, I mean, if I can,
kids, yeah.
So one
like
of my
you got kids in school.
One of my kids is at a private school. My other kids in Federal Way. So I don't know if it is expanding over there. If this is just Seattle Public Schools,
but it's supposed to be nationwide.
Yeah, I love it, and I'm going to make sure my son is a part of it for sure.
Okay, all right. Before we take a quick break here, man, some sad news coming out of New York City. Actually, go and put this slide up here, Salman. It's there. Okay, great. Miss USA 2019. Chesley Christ, sorry about that, died age 30. So this is the thing is what people are kind of reporting right now is that she jumped out of a window from the 60th floor of a building in New York City. They're saying that it was a suicide. And man, it's really kind of impacting people, especially in the social space. And she was Miss USA 2019.
Miss USA 2019, also a lawyer, an attorney. She was also a correspondent on entertainment news for E! The fact that she had, from the surface level, from our outside perspective, so many amazing things going well for her. Again, we're talking about somebody who's setting a trend, setting standards when it comes to Miss USA pageant, because there's only been a handful of Black women who have actually earned that title. She was just the number 2. So again, this is something that shocked me, man. I saw this yesterday, just like about 5 hours after it was aired. And I just went, whoa, here we have somebody who's gorgeous. You never know what people are going through. And this is why when we talk about suicide prevention, being there for our people is serious, man.
Yeah, man. Like on the real, check up on your people, that are you okay is real. And, this is the thing is, and we talk about it here a lot, man, sometimes you got to leave some space. Well, really, you should always leave some space and grace, man. You just never know what somebody is going through. You know what I'm saying? And it says here that her last post or that day on Instagram said, "May this day bring you rest and peace." Salman has put the number to the National Suicide Hotline in the comments, but I'll say it out here: 1-800-273-8255. We're going to take a quick break right now, 1 minute, and we're coming right back. We got more headlines for you. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey guys, Beta Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable.
Welcome back to the Morning Update Show, and we move on here. Hey, we got some good news coming out of Skyway. This is always good news. We want to uplift Skyway. Go ahead and put this one up here, Salman. It says right here, this is from the Medium, by the way, the Seattle Medium. King County awards $2 million to develop a resource center for Skyway. King County's Department of Local Services has awarded $2 million to build a new home for the Skyway Resource Center. The space will provide a holistic array of social services, health and wellness services, and community-based organization support for neighborhoods, much like the center's regular mobile pop-up events that is held throughout the community the past year and a half. The new center will be located at the former U.S. Bank building at 12610 76th Avenue South, across the street from the Skyway Library, as one of the King County libraries. Scheduled completion in 2023.
Yeah, this is exciting indeed. You know what? Because honestly, I know that this has been an effort for a very long time. A lot of people have been behind the scenes, literally trying to make sure that this is funded and that it is led by community. So shout out to King County for identifying this as a much needed development project. And shout out to everybody who's been behind the scenes. I know Councilmember Gamai Zahalai has been a heavy contributor to these efforts. And there's so many amazing community folks and organizations that said this is a need. But you know, we talk about it oftentimes, when we have unincorporated areas of King County that are often overlooked when relief funding comes down the pike, when development funding is coming down the pike. And there's many community members out there in Skyway that are fighting the efforts of gentrification as it's spilling over into Skyway. So I love seeing this amazing resource center being led by community and really being done for community. It's a beautiful effort all around.
All right, good stuff. Yo, so we got some job opportunities here, some intern opportunities, especially for young people who want to learn radio and media. We'll go and put this one up right here. KEXP. Our buddies over at KEXP, man, they're hiring 4 interns. This is going to be real dope. 6-month term beginning mid-April, 15 hours a week. All internships pay $22 an hour, and the application process closes on February 15th. We'll put the link in the comments there, kexp.org/internships. And it's like audio production. There's show booking. I told him, man, I was like, send the show booker over here. Maybe I get an extra hour of sleep every day. Audio production, social media. And you know the thing, KEXP, and why it just brought a little spark to me right here talking about them. In the middle of the Seattle protests. I'll take it back right there. But this is a good story. Not one I'm going to get all teary-eyed about. In the middle of the Seattle protests, KEXP, we gathered together some funds to try to these cameras right here. Yeah. And KEXP called over to Glazers and was like, hey, man, you know, we got a discount with you guys. Converge trying to do something. Can we use our discount? And Glazers was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so we were able to get more equipment, you know, and the people at KEXP have always just been so amazing to us. And that's where Alia D'Alessandro hangs out over there. Yeah. So this is a great opportunity, especially for those of y'all that might got somebody laying on that couch, sucking up all that air, eating that food. You go an internship job for them.
Let me tell you something. Okay. And when I was doing my internships, I definitely was not making $22 an hour. So shout out to KEXP for providing this opportunity for young folks to get into audio engineering, get into radio. There's so many different things, obviously, that they can be doing. I love that you guys have a plethora of opportunities that you guys are showcasing and putting out there in community. You know, I just got to say, man, my internship, I was working for free, man. So I just love seeing that now people are understanding now we really need to pour resources into young folks. And that's one way to get people to like, hey, man, I got to do this. But also it lets us know that, hey, with this new moving trend, you know, they're willing to put their money where their mouth is and really develop some folks.
Yeah, nah, man, KEXP is the business. You know what I'm saying? Still waiting for an invitation over there to the studio. I've been telling them, you know, I'm a radio guy from the beginning. I mean, clearly, I've got a face for radio. That's where I've been my whole career outside the last 2 years, man. What's up, KEXP? Can I get on the mic?
Let's go.
On the real, though, man, we're going to keep talking about this opportunity until it closes. And Trey Holiday, we've reached the end of the headlines here, but man, oh man, and I wasn't able to join you on Friday, but man, oh man, you went and saw Beauty and the Beast. You know, Portia Shaw was here earlier in the week, and let me just play this first, and then we're gonna let you talk about it.
Oh my gosh, me and my sister just got out of Beauty and the Beast. Right here, Portia Shaw playing Belle, an amazing diverse cast. I cannot tell you guys how exciting it was. My sister was crying. I was emotional. When I say that the first Black Belle with Beauty and the Beast and Portia Shaw was top notch and top tier, I mean that. The music, the performances, the costumes, the way that they even changed the Beast into the Prince, just everything all around. 10s across the board. Shout out to everybody out there that made this possible. We so appreciate you guys. Made it magical for us tonight. Thank you guys. Magical indeed. When I tell you that show put me on a high for the rest of the weekend, I mean it. My sister and I could not stop giggling and laughing and enjoying ourselves and cheesing. I mean, at one point, my sister, when they showed Belle in the yellow dress, and everybody knows that famous yellow dress when she's about to dance with the beast. Oh my God. My sister just bawled. She just bawled to the point where the lady next to her was like, honey, are you okay? She was like, yes, I'm fine. You know, like when she was so excited that I had her come with me, and I was so glad that she did, because Beauty and the Beast was one of our favorites as we were growing up. And I got to tell you, they did not disappoint. It was to the point where I literally text Portia, like, I will pay to come and see it again. It was that good. Let me tell you, man, they killed it. At one point, Gaston and the whole cast, they were stepping, man. They were stepping. They brought some people out there. They were voguing. They had tap. I was so impressed. The director, everybody from the director on down, just put their foot in the game with that show. I'm telling you, it was magnificent, Omari. It was a magnificent show.
Hello. Oh, snap. All right. Well, I need to go.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm finna call over to Fifth Avenue Theater as soon as we get up, because listen, the way that you just described all that, I need to make a situation and go there with somebody.
Yes. Hey, if you need somebody to go, I will go with you.
You'll go with me.
I will go with you.
All right. All else fails, we're gonna go again.
Yes.
All right, everybody. I'm getting ready to clear the set, because next up, there it is, Baionne Coleman, on the way to the morning update show set. We'll be right back.
Hey y'all, T-Dub here, letting you know about another art funding opportunity. For culture recovery funding for individuals is available now, and here's what you need to know to apply. Are you a cultural producer who has been impacted by the pandemic? If you answered yes, but what is a cultural producer? Well, you are a cultural producer if your work, paid or unpaid, is dedicated to creating cultural experiences in any discipline or at any stage of your career. Some examples include exhibit designers, museums educations, archivists, restoration professionals, curators, history researchers, artists, of course, and more. In understanding that grant language can sometimes feel exclusive to specific people, using terms like cultural producer is one of the ways For Culture seeks to broaden its scope of applicants. In other words, this funding is for you. And look, the application fatigue is real. I get it, they get it. But the For Culture staff is here to walk you through it. They have grants from $1,000 to $12,000, so please don't miss out. The deadline to apply is Wednesday, February 2nd. Head to forculture.org/recovery to get information on virtual group workshops, application support, language translation, and more.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here with some much needed information about what's happening in our communities when it comes to COVID-19 in 2022. Omicron is actually the latest COVID-19 variant and honestly is hitting our local communities and hospitals pretty hard. You can help out by 1, making sure you are vaccinated, 2, making sure you have your booster, and 3, simply masking up. As we learn more about COVID-19, we're also learning more about how the vaccine works best. A booster shot 2 to 5 months after your COVID-19 vaccine significantly improves protection against COVID and its many variants. If you need a COVID-19 vaccine or a booster, there are free options for transportation and childcare that are available. To learn more about all of your options and where you can get your booster shot, go to kingcounty.gov/COVID/vaccine.
We invite you to be our guest at Disney's Beauty and the Beast. It's a tale as old as time in a brand new production by the Fifth Avenue Theater. Return to the magic of live theater with one of the most enchanting musicals of all time. Disney's Beauty and the Beast at the Fifth, January 12th to February 6th. Tickets at Fifth Avenue.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. And joining me right now is my good friend and community. Just grow up with her and love her so much, Miss Baionne Coleman with the Global Majority Consortium. Welcome so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I mean, you are really doing some amazing things with the Global Majority Consortium, and there's some things our audience needs to be aware of. Let's start off with, what is the Global Majority Consortium?
Yeah, so the pandemic did some good things as well, right? So my husband and I have been talking about doing this work for a really long time, and the pandemic gave us the opportunity to really buckle down and make it happen. So we have a nonprofit. We also have a consulting arm of it as well. But the Global Majority Consortium is focused on closing the opportunity and the wealth gap. We are very specific in Washington State. We're not looking to go to Georgia or anywhere else. What we hope to do is to be able to train other people how to do this in their own backyards, and really tamper down that idea of colonialism, where we need to go and conquer all other spaces. We need to continue to do, each one teach one. So we need to teach other folks how to do this in their backyard so that they can actually change what the context of their communities looks like.
I love the ideas of these kind of model nonprofits setting up. I know Africatown has that same kind of vibe, right? Where it's no, even if it's an Africatown in Georgia, it's them doing it and them being able to benefit or learn from all of the lessons that Africatown is doing here. So I love that you guys take that in and bring it to heart. Plus, we need it here in Washington State. What are some of the ways that you guys are doing this work?
So we have multiple different arms of it. One of our most recent projects has been with our entrepreneurship arm. And what we did is we partnered with an organization called Pillar, who is funneling over $5 million into the Rainier Valley explicitly. We supported them with actually creating their pilot process. So we did the interviews, we showed them how, this work needs to be done, gave them the context of this work, et cetera. And then we were able to choose, we got 30 businesses out of the 107 that we actually gathered, mostly Black and Indigenous businesses. And then what we did is we put them up for recommendation. So we can't say what businesses yet because they haven't said it yet, but the lowest amount that one of the businesses got was $25,000, with the highest being $75,000.
This is a real game changer, Baionne. I mean, we talk about how much Black and Indigenous businesses from people from the global majority have been hit hard with COVID. So you're talking about $25,000 to $75,000 hitting these businesses. That's a huge marker. What are some of the things that we need to be mindful of? Because I know you're also here to kind of educate us as we think about some of these opportunities in the legislature, right?
Yeah, so one of the other arms that Global Majority Consortium does is our leader and our teacher incubators, and we do community universities, et cetera. What folks don't really recognize is what schools actually do within community when they're actually collaborative communities. And that's really important in the context of charters, because charters are the opportunity for community to actually open up and build with autonomy based off of what community needs in those spaces. A lot of folks aren't looking at those as actual ecosystems. And so what's important is to understand that education is a precursor for success. And it's not just for scholar minds, but when we actually talk about communities, and when we talk about businesses, and when we talk about mental health, right? What we do in a school begins to shape what that individual looks like within their community. So when we're looking at things for 18 to 24, year olds being shot and killed, that stems back to the education that they were actually getting. It stems back to teachers looking like them, pouring into them and giving them a space to be confident, and also giving them a space where racism is not at high levels because you have a leadership that looks like you. And so you don't have to look over your shoulder all the time and be concerned that someone's going to just say something crazy to you just based off of the sole aspect your skin is, that you have melanin, right? So when we think about that, education is an ecosystem. Money comes in from public dollars, and that money goes back out, and it has to go back out somewhere. We make sure that for the businesses that we support and the different other aspects of my positions in community, that money funnels back into community, right? So it's going to Copy Spot, it's going to the Postman, it's going to Amy Mercado's, it's going to Delish, right? It's going to Jay Styles, who might come up and do some work with our, with our scholars and whatnot. It goes to after school programs, all of those different things. So We have to buy food. We have to do transportation, all of these different things that have to be done. So this actually is a stimulus for our specific communities when done properly. And when we actually talk about decolonizing budgets, which a lot of folks aren't even thinking about, right? So there are some aspects to some of these charter schools where a lot is actually being stifled in the space. And what we really need to do is we need to stop politicizing charter schools. The majority of scholars who go to charter schools are Black and brown. And so when we politicize them, we actually continue to push systemic oppression. Washington State has one of the strongest laws for charter schools because they've learned from all of the folks who didn't do it right before. So there is a House bill right now that is coming out, and it is the Levy Equalization Bill, and it's House Bill 1591. And we need for community to actually reach out to the legislators and actually tell them, like, I need you to vote for this, right? It's getting ready to go on the floor. And why this is so important is because we know that disproportionately 70% of global majority kids are the kids who are in the charter sector. You don't have that at other schools around, right? So when we look at that and we say we're not going to do levy funding, you pay taxes, I pay taxes. If you or my child goes to a charter school, they don't get to see any of that money for those taxes, which means that there's a gap in that funding from $1,500 to $3,000 per scholar. So books that I might need for a scholar, all of those different things, whatever that scholar needs, they're not getting it, right? When we talk about taking care of teachers, we also know that charter schools employ, back to what the Black Lives Movement matter is like hiring teachers. Well, in order to hire teachers, you need to make sure that they have the compensation that they actually need, right? But if our schools that are serving global majority teachers and serving global majority scholars don't have access to those levies, they can't actually do that. And so that's one piece of it. I think also when we dig a little bit deeper and we actually see what schools are not supported by that levy, and knowing that this is an ecosystem that like these leaders are actually pushing money back into community, it's charter schools and it's tribal schools. Well, if we know that charter schools are majority, Black and global majority, and we know that tribal schools are indigenous, then who is this levy really actually hurting?
So 1591 will extend the opportunity for charters to participate in this levy or get funding from this?
It will give charters and tribal schools the opportunity to actually have levy funding come to them directly. There was a House bill, and huge shout out to Representative Intiman. She did a bill where she was trying to open up the window for charter schools. And the reason why that's important is that there's only currently 24 charter schools right now, and there is a cap of 40. That window was closed because enough schools weren't necessarily open, like the window ended. That Representative Intiman really tried to push to get that window open back up. And it was basically like, pushed to the side and like, we don't necessarily need this or whatever. But again, we do need it because we need more community members to be able to go in and open up communities because our schools, because they have the context of what is happening in their backyards.
Yeah, they do. And really, I mean, I'm a proponent of this, but for the Global Majority Consortium, you guys are also making sure people understand this language, because I think a lot of times it goes over people's head because they're not plugged in. And so are you guys also helping to make sure that people are getting connected? And I mean, clearly you're here doing that work, but how are you guys being intentional to make sure people understand this language and they understand the impact that it's going to have?
Yeah, so thankfully, one is like just the grassroots aspect of it, right? Like making sure as we're talking to families, we're letting folks know through community universities where, like we'll hold panels and we'll do different things. We'll make sure that community continues to know. Also leaning on our partners, King County Equity Now, Converge Media, Africatel, making sure that folks understand this information is really important. Another aspect of that is like special education. Special education, we know that Black and Indigenous folks are disproportionately put into those spaces. And, like you need special education services. Washington State has a cap of 13.5%. So if I'm a school leader and I have 22 or 23 or 25%, all those kids past that 13.5% of my population at my school don't receive funding for special education. Wow. Then you don't receive levy funding. You also don't receive facilities funding. So that makes that gap be anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 when we're actually looking at it in a different space. So, and to your point about like, how do we get this information out? I think like as a community, we tend to show up to vote when it comes to people and we don't show up to vote when it actually comes to policies.
Yeah.
And it's really important that, like, yes, to the people, but one person cannot change that entire system. We can change that entire system by actually voting on these bills and paying attention to the policies that are being passed, because that's how things get squeaked in. For example, there's a bill right now, House Bill 1807, that is being put forward to stop professional development around anti-racism, meaning educators no longer would have to actually sit through anything that is going to support them. Folks could claim that that would be trauma-informed practices, right? If it has an anti-racist lens or any of those types of things. So when we talk about like how the bills get put in, like, this is really important. We also have a tendency to look at federal bills instead of local bills. Like, federal bills are all fine and dandy, and we need to make sure that we're paying attention to those. But a lot of stuff gets squeaked in with our local, policies, and we're not paying attention. So we have to start paying attention to that.
Yeah, this is really key. I mean, those are two serious bills for people to actually be following up on and connecting with their legislators and their state reps on this. This is something that I'm always shocked, because I'm like, who put something like that even forward as a bill for us to have to vote on it or have to get our state reps to push forward to something like that? Particularly when we're talking about a lot of people getting in the streets in 2020 globally, understanding that we really do have a huge issue with oppression and racism in our country, and that it hits everybody locally at every state in a very specific, particular way. And we dealt with that right here in Washington State. That's why people were out in the streets for such a long time. So now we got two bills that you're introducing to our audience, and to me, for us to really stay focused on. What are some of the ways that people can make sure that they are participating if they're saying, wait a minute, charters and tribal schools need that levy funding, and hey, we need to make sure that our professionals actually are trained in racist practices?
Yeah, so reach out to your legislators and let them know that, like, you want to vote no on 1807, and that you want to vote yes on Bill 1591 explicitly. You can also email your legislators for anything. And a lot of times, like, we just don't do it, right? And so if we begin to put the pressure on, then we begin to be able to have the say, right? Like, we begin to be able to, dictate what policy is going to be. And we let folks know, like, we are here, and we're not only listening, we're watching, and we're going to hold you accountable. There have been folks who have been able to sit in some of these positions. We need to run for office too, right? Like, we need to run for office. We need to make sure that we're stepping up and saying, like, if not me, then who? So, like, step up and do that work. I think those are some of the things that are really important. Another thing that comes around education and understanding this ecosystem of education is making sure that we do have more Black and Indigenous teachers. And if they're not being educated, they can't go to school to begin to do that work, right? And so those are some of the things that have to begin to happen. Even like when I was listening to y'all talk about Seattle Central and how their numbers are low. Charter schools are now up for Seattle's Promise, which means that after Running Start, you still get another 2 years free of college. You can finish your BA if you go to these schools for free, right? Which then supports our Seattle Central office with being able to make sure our school, college, with being able to make sure that they have folks who are in there. So again, like, this is an ecosystem, but we have to pay attention to how that ecosystem actually works together for the greater good of our communities and pushes money back into our community so that we can, come across like gentrification. It's not necessarily gentrification. What's really happening is colonization, right? They're displacing folks from communities completely. And so in order for us to do that, we have to begin to affect these policies.
Absolutely, Baionne. And thank you so much for bringing it to our attention today. There's a lot going on, and I think these are two things that people need to be focused on and really pushing, again, like you said, our legislators and our policymakers. If folks want to connect with you and the Global Majority Consortium, how do they do that before we let you go?
Yeah, so there are a couple of ways. One, we're on LinkedIn, so they can always access us. And then we also have a website, gmcchange.com. We're actually getting ready to take our inaugural round of educators, folks who want to open up nonprofits, open up private or charter schools, and superintendents, principals, et cetera, through an anti-racist training to actually show them how to do this right well.
Wow. Congratulations to you and your husband. Amazing feat for community. You are a shining star for us. And almost every time I talk to you, I have to hold my emotion back because I'm just like, I mean, we went to school together, and look at you just doing your thing in community. I'm just so thankful. Thank you for being with me today.
Thank you for doing your thing in community.
Yeah,
I appreciate you. Thank you.
It's a mutual appreciation.
Look. Howard,
Yeah,
Garfield,
right?
like all of that. Like, yeah, this is what we do.
This is community love for sure. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Baionne.
Thank you.
Oh, great stuff for us to keep informed about and make sure that we are staying on the money. You guys, there's plenty of things going on. And as Baionne said, man, reach out to your local legislators, your state reps. They want to hear from you, honestly, because you guys empower them to do their jobs. After this short break, I get to bring my guy, Big O, back to the set. You're watching the Morning Update Show. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, Beta Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I get to bring my guy, Big O, back onto the set. Man, great show again today, man.
Yeah, no, lots of information. It's crazy. Well, it's still 5 minutes here. Lots of information out today in less than an hour. You know what I'm saying? From the shots fired to really a lot. I learned a lot right there in just a few minutes from Baionne.
Yeah, I mean, me too. And this is exactly why I love how we have people that care about bringing these kind of messages here just for us to be engaged and informed. Again, it's on you to make the decision which way you want to go, but being engaged and informed. And you talked about this early on, and it really stuck with me, when you said, man, you're making sure you're challenging people to be engaged in the civic process, man. It's on us.
Well, I mean, that's real. It's like, you know, I mean, it's easy to always point fingers at elected officials and politicians and everything, but it's like, as well, like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you the parent, if we say school, whether it's public school or charter school, are you the parent that always has something to say about, you know, the school district or the school, but don't show up to the PTA meetings? Don't be checking your kids' homework. Don't be checking the syllabus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we got to be involved as well. So it's important communities involved. All right. New ad added right there. You know, it's a quick one. Pacific Northwest Ballet, Romeo and Juliet. We had so much response last time from the Nutcracker with Romeo and Juliet that we'll put this overlay up right here. Man, talk to Leah over there at Pacific Northwest Ballet, and we're doing it again. We're doing Converge Night at the Pacific Northwest Ballet this Friday to see Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, this Friday. You guys, please come with me. Make sure you guys are letting us know if you want to come. You know, we're going to have Converge Media Night there, and I'm looking forward to it, because I'm telling you, these live shows are magical, and I love being able to see how they come together. It's a lot of hard work behind the scenes. Shout out to Pacific Northwest Ballet for, you know, saying, yeah, we're going to make sure some folks come with Converge.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Now, I won't be here on Friday, but we're going to tell everybody, if you want to go, it's 2 pairs of tickets. I think we have 5 pairs at least. You want to go and see Romeo and Juliet with Trey on a holiday, you need to email Trey, Trae, at whereweconverge.com. Trae at whereweconverge.com. And, you know, open for anybody, but we're looking for people who may have never been to the ballet before, or, you know, have kids, never been to the ballet before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drop Trey a line.
Please shout out to PNW. You know what? Come with me, y'all. I normally sometimes go by myself to these shows. I'm looking forward to having some of the Converge family with me. And as Omari said, you know, this is a great opportunity to make sure that somebody who has never seen ballet gets to see it. I'm going to tell you, you'll be so in love with it once you see it. Sometimes it's like you have these ideas in your head. It's not till you actually experience it that you can say that you really now understand it or love it or like it, whatever. But I'm looking forward to y'all. Come on me, TRAE@whereweconverge.com. Drop me a line. I'll be making sure I get back to you guys because we want to see you guys at the show.
All right, that's what's up. Grandpa, you going? Okay.
He's there.
That's the business. No, man, Grandpa loves ballet.
Yeah, look.
That's what I'm saying. Listen as well. This is really good for everybody. One in Tacoma, but the general Puget Sound region, because you know, Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club pulls it in from all over, well beyond Tacoma. And you know, I need to get down. And you know, Nate, man, he stopped talking to me. He was like, "Man, you still ain't been down here, big O. You supposed to be fab." So I got to make sure and make it down there. This is a big deal for right here at Converge. Our family, the Truth Bonds, Marcus and Jessica Truthbond. We're going to put this up. There they are. They're going to be live Valentine's Day down there at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club. You know what I'm saying? They're doing their whole thing live down. It's a good getaway for Valentine's Day, huh?
Oh my gosh, it looks so nice. I love that photo of them. They're looking fire. And you know what? Shout out to you guys. I might have to go check that out myself. I am, you know, unlike, Nate has seen me plenty of times. I'm just going to say that, put that out there because I love being able to go to comedy shows. And you know what? It's a great venue. It's not just to support Nate, even though that is definitely a part of it, but he has really poured his everything into this amazing venue. Shout out to the True Fonts and Nate Jackson. That sounds like a real vibe.
Yeah, we'll put the link there in the comments so you go ahead and get some tickets. Yeah, man. Yo, Truly Unruly. You know, you catch Truly Unruly right here on Converge every Sunday night at 8 p.m. And this show has evolved, Trey Holiday. Like the True Fonts, they, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the first few episodes, they was kind of, you know, hey, you watch it now, the True Fonts be after some real deal topics. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see Black love on the screen. And speaking of Black love, though, I'm going to put this in the time machine. We're going to take it back here to where Marcus and Jessica Truthbond were here on the Morning Update show last year.
Like Black love, it's a movement. It is, we're here to showcase that Black love is here. It's beautiful. It's happy. It's not perfect, but it is, that's our goal. Black love is everything. And we just want to encourage it, inspire it, and showcase it, really.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just give people the opportunity to see it in real time. They, you know, you see stuff on social media, or you may know me from sports and stuff like that, but we are regular people doing normal family things with kids, the ups and downs, and you can get through it. And you gotta enjoy the ride, and it all starts with love. You gotta have that foundation, and we just trying to showcase the normalness of our everyday.
Right, and we're Black.
I knew it. That's my favorite part. Right. And we're Black. I love that. And you know what? Shout out to the True Fonts again for having their appearance right here on the Morning Update show. But you know what? I love that their show is right here on Converge too. Again, it shows this connection to community and what Converge is all about. And they really do showcase Black love. I love it.
Yeah, let me get this camera, Mr. Director. Marcus, Jessica, Kels, like, we need you guys back on the Morning Update show, and we need you right here in the Black Media Matters studio. Put this thing on wide, Mr. Director. Yeah. We need you guys here in the Black Media Matters studio. You know what I'm saying? We'd love to have you here. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give the True Fonts a call, talk to Kels, and see when we can get them here. But February 14th, man, they're live there, Nate Jackson Super Funny Comedy Club. I'm saying we going together?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
We got a lot of shows. I'm for it.
That's all. You know, best thing about being over here, I don't never have to worry about somebody to go somewhere with, man, because Trey's always down. We're overtime, Trey. Oh, well, is that it right here? Yeah, that's it. We're overtime today. Anything before we get out of here?
Oh, always for me. See yourself as a part of the solution. I love that we're ending there with the True Fonts and Truly Unruly, because they're just showcasing their love. But that's another way to see themselves as a part of the solution. And always a pleasure to have Miss Baionne Coleman on set and in studio with me, because honestly, she is such a shining example of seeing herself as part of the solution. Be inspired. You guys can do it too.
Yeah, no, that's real deal. Man, we got work to do. We see these numbers, these shots fired numbers out here, man. We got a lot of work to do in our city, in our community, in our county. We're going to stay on top of this. And like I said, I'm going to follow up and see who else we can talk to from the government side and also community side. You know what I'm saying? But man, what a great day. It was a good for a Monday. I'm feeling good. Let's
Start the week off right.
We're going to keep this energy the whole week. We're going to leave you with Shayna Shepherd with Hope. And on that note, go forward. Go forward in your potential. Go forward in your humanity. Go forward. I like that even too. Potential,
huh? I like that.
Yeah, that's all good. Until tomorrow at 11 a.m. Peace.
What do I see through a lens of fear? 1,000 little steps to go. What do I fear after all these years? Lord knows I don't even know. I've been running on the edge of a sundial, sleeping in the shadow. I've been begging you to see me, then hiding beyond the unreachable. Looking out left on a right-hand turn, just trying